Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy Reger. I am a higher self alchemist, and today I want to talk about one of the ways you may be sabotaging your success and being able to manifest all you desire. There are many ways that you could sabotage your success with being able to manifest or shift realities or jump timelines, whatever way you want to call it. And it could be beliefs and emotional triggers and vows and contracts, which I've kind of touched upon in other videos. But today I want to really dive into one that is really an easy thing for you to change if you become conscious of when you are doing it. Okay. And this is waiting. We have been told from a young age that we need to wait, that it's never the right time, or we have to wait for the right circumstances, or we have to wait our turn, or that we have to wait until we get a degree, or wait until we get more knowledge, or wait until we've climbed the ladder before we could get to that spot we really want to be in. And it's integral to our society to be told that we are never ready or never good enough to move forward with whatever our heart's desires. We're always waiting and analyzing, making sure that everything is right before we move. If you're somebody who's very goal-oriented and you feel like you need to have every step in place before you move, this is the waiting game, okay? It can show up there, but I also find it with clients where they're waiting for someone to show up to tell them exactly what they need to do in order to fulfill their soul's purpose and mission, or if it's the right time. And if you are doing that, you are preventing yourself from having everything your heart's desires. There is no one coming to save you. Everything that you have within yourself is what is provided to you to save yourself. You are here to save yourself. You know everything that you need. Maybe you don't consciously know it within you on how to succeed in all of the things that you want to achieve in this lifetime. Your soul's purpose, your mission, abundance, freedom, joy, all the things are already programmed inside of you. Now, mind you, it may be laying dormant and there may be things that need to be changed in order for you to be able to access that, but it's there. And you have a unique blueprint, which means no one knows what is inside of you but you. Yes, you can listen to me and many others on YouTube or Instagram, wherever, and they can help you like triangulate and understand what that is, but the only person who really knows is you. I remember years ago when I started this and I was going through some training for an energy healing modality I no longer do. And I was like, what's the next book I can read? Now, I go through books like crazy. I am usually reading 2, 3, possibly 4 books at a time. And I heard plain as day, there is no book that's going to help you because there's no book on how to be Tammy. And it hit me like a brick because I was like, well, what? Like I always thought I could just read my way to understanding what my soul's purpose is, my soul's knowledge, and my soul's magical powers were. But to hear that from my guides at the time say that there's no book on how to be Tammy, it was a gut punch at first because I kind of went into this kind of fear place. I was like, well, then if nobody knows how to be me, then how can I be myself? And I really needed to, reel it back and look at that. There is no book out there that's going to tell you how to be you. You are unique. There just isn't. So this idea of waiting for your turn on the baseball field or basketball field or football field, waiting for somebody to tell you that it's the right time, waiting for you to have all the right steps or the right steps planned out, just is preventing you from being able to access the knowledge that's in the book of you. And the book of you will propel you forward on your path, understanding how to use the quantum field so that you time jump and you or timeline jump, or you quantum shift, or you manifest everything that you desire and have already created within you. But we get stuck in this energy of waiting. And I really, really want you to think about all the places that you're waiting in your life for something to happen before you move. I had a client, we still talk, but I had a client who had a dream. This was something that she had been planning on for years, potentially decades. She had it all planned out, and she kept waiting for the perfect time. How many of you are waiting for the perfect time to go after that dream that you have literally laid out, whether it's inside of you or on paper or in a binder, doesn't matter, or in a Word document? How many of you have just been tinkering in that and tweaking that, but not actually putting it into play? And if you are, the energy of waiting can actually be what's causing you to do so. And you really need to look at deprogramming all of the beliefs and energetic trauma and triggers that are causing you to wait. It's not a conscious thing that you're doing, it's a subconscious thing, which is where all these triggers exist. Why can you not take this beautiful vision that you have and put it into play? Now, this client that I'm talking about, she finally did it. I think it's been 2.5, maybe 3 years, and she's loving it. She's excelling in it. And I love watching her go after her dreams and see it fulfilled, and potentially in ways I don't think she knew she could, because she got out of this idea of waiting. Nobody was going to provide the right time for her. Nobody was going to hand her, I don't know, like a golden ticket that says, if you do it now, it'll be successful. She needed to make that jump. And when she did, many other things changed in her life. And I have other stories about this, where other clients who stopped waiting and finally things happened. Sometimes that thing that we're waiting to do, that we're crafting and envisioning and visualizing, is the first step is taking action on that vision. But we wait for the money. We wait for it to be less risky. We wait for somebody to give us permission to go forward and create this vision. We wait and we take more courses. We wait and look by bringing our idea to somebody outside of ourselves who doesn't have the same blueprint as you, or the same programming as you, or the same vision of you, giving it to them poo-pooing it. And then you put yourself back and wait, because now you got to tweak it because it's not quite right. But you're tweaking it based on their blueprint, not yours. That's their genius, not yours. You're supposed to create a vision based on your genius. And no one else has that but you. Yes, we're all similar in ways, but we're all unique as well. Just like everyone has fingerprints, right? But every fingerprint is unique, just like you. And the energy of waiting could be literally suffocating everything that you want to have in your life. I think of some of my clients, and they're in the energy of still waiting. And, that comes up in sessions a lot. And waiting is just holding back. You're holding back your genius. You're holding back your vision, your abundance, everything, because you are unwilling to leap. I think there's some idea of this idea, well, I can just quantum jump or timeline jump to this timeline where everything is perfect. I have everything I want, and abundance is great, and freedom's great, and I'm living my vision. But with this idea that by doing that, you don't have to do anything to get there. That is not how the quantum field works. You need to take action. Now, not action just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Like you have to take inspired action based on what the guidance that you're getting from your higher self and or source to do that's in alignment with whatever timeline you are jumping to. You must take action. And I can tell you right now that you're all getting signs and signals on what those actions are. Either you don't hear them, meaning you're not really fully paying attention to what's going on around you, which is very common in this day and age because we have so much to do. And when we have so much to do, we don't hear the signs and signals that our higher self and source are giving us because we're not in a mind frame to be able to hear it or see it, or know it or sense it. And that's one. Two, we overanalyze. We get these signs, signals, and we take it. And instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to go do that right now, like the best time to do it is when you get it in that moment. You think, oh, but this or that, or I can't do it because of this and that. Or if I do this, this will happen. And I don't want that. And we go into this overanalyzing. And what happens is you were given like a direct route to that timeline and you're just meandering and you get into this place of where nothing works for me or nothing ever happens to me. When is it my turn? And it's your turn now. You just have to be willing to stop waiting, to catch yourself where you're waiting. Everyone has a little bit of it. I mean, especially if your life isn't exactly where you want it to be, there's more than likely the energy of waiting. Now, in one of my classes that I talk about how to tell what's in your field and whether or not you have like something like the energy of waiting in your field, which is causing you resistance to receiving what it is you desire, but also receiving messages from source and your higher self on what to do to get there. And this just causes all this spin where we watch other people manifest, we watch other people achieve their dreams, and we think to ourselves, why not me? Good question. Why not you? Because you were made to have that too. We were all made to have that too. We were not made to suffer and sacrifice and to fight. We were made to play and discover and have fun in our soul's growth journey. It doesn't mean that negative things don't happen. That's part of the journey as well. But it's not to the extreme that we've had it for, say, tens of thousands of years. But in order to make that jump, you have to check yourself. So I'm going to do a short clearing on waiting in a moment. I will also separate it out. So if you needed or wanted to listen to this again, it will be in a separate video somewhere else on this channel that you can check out that will be linked below this. Because the energy of waiting or getting rid of the energy of waiting may just be the spark that you need to know that you're enough, that you know enough, that it's your time, that you get to decide your time. No one else does. No one's going to ride up on a white horse and hand you a ticket that says, let's go. You have to be the horse and you have to be the person on the horse, because everything that you desire or have created through your desires is already yours. You just need to be able to step into the energy that it is yours now, which is not waiting. So in this guided healing meditation, I'm going to run some energy on clearing some of the stuff around waiting, some of the things that were taught from societal standpoint, as well as from your childhood, and potentially bring in some past life stuff, because I'm sure that many of us have trauma from other lifetimes where we've been told we have to wait. And not only that, we have vows, contracts, or vows, contracts, or oaths that prevent us from even getting on that field or moving forward without like with the freedom that we desire. And it's integral that those things never stand in your way. You have the tools within you to have that vision, but you can't wait anymore. Especially in this year, in 2024, which is an 8-year, which is about abundance. But this year is a huge tipping point energy between whether you want to continue the old or you want to try something new that has different cycles that you get to reincarnate in, different experiences instead of the same old that we've been living for tens of thousands of years. And this is part of that. You can't stay in the middle and say, I'm going to wait for me to see whether my new life is really what I want. You have to let go of the old first before the new will really start to come in. So you need to let go of the waiting. And when you let go of the waiting and you really step into the energy and magic of the quantum field as this new self, things happen quicker. I can't even tell you how fast things are happening and how much guidance I'm getting that I wasn't aware of, but I'm getting now. I had an instance where I worked on this on Sunday and I cleared it. And the next day I got hits to do something that I hadn't planned to do this week. And it totally turned out great because I was like, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to follow what the universe tells me to do. And I'm just going to follow that guidance. And things are happening so quick. Even in the energy of manifesting, we have this in general. Let's not even talk about you waiting yourself, but there's this idea of manifesting that you have to wait for it. Now, yeah, some things take, 24 hours or a week or a year. Maybe a year's pushing it, because I really think as we move into the quantum field, those times are going to get shorter and shorter and shorter because they're shortcuts that your higher self or source will tell you what they are if you're willing to go there. And so manifesting sometimes takes time only because there are steps or breadcrumbs that we need to follow in order to get that manifestation. And depending on how quick you move through those or how much overanalyzing you do or waiting you do, you can extend the timeline. So this idea of waiting for your manifestation, or you think that you have to wait for your manifestation, if you know how to muscle test or use a pendulum, I would ask right now, I am waiting for my manifestations. If you have that, you need to change it because you will always be waiting for your manifestations because you have that belief. Your reality reflects your beliefs. So if you have that, you need to change it to my manifestations are happening now. And when you do that, you may start to see more progress in your manifestations because you're no longer waiting for them or waiting for something to happen outside of you to receive it. It's another one. I could really go really deep into how deeply embedded waiting is that has really, really ground a lot of us to a halt, wondering what the hell is going on when it's really just subconsciously you're in the energy of waiting. So I'm going to start that meditation now. If you're in a place where you can't close your eyes safely, meaning driving, operating heavy machinery, please stop this video here and come back and either listen to the separate meditation below or here. Whichever way you choose, it will be the same thing. If you can, get into a quiet place where you can be really grounded and aware within yourself without interruption from others outside of you. Now, I understand that sometimes that's not doable, but if you can, please do that. I used to go into, when I worked in corporate America, I used to go into the bathroom and I would have my meditation time there because I knew I needed it. And I used to call it my office. And really, really start to call in the energy of moving now and not waiting. Okay. So if you have all of those things, I would ask you to find a comfortable place to sit. Close your eyes, start to take some deep breaths. And as you take these deep breaths, just allow yourself to release all of the stresses of the day, all the noise, all the energy that's not yours. And with your next breath, imagine that you're expanding your heart space with your breath. And with each consecutive breath, continue to expand your heart space. With your next in-breath, imagine that a golden thread of light is spiraling down deep into Mother Earth. Allowing you to deeply ground within her. Now bring that golden spiral of light back up into your body, allowing it to spiral all the way up to the top of your head. Once it's at the top of your head, send that golden spiral of light out past the sun, past the moon, past the stars, past the Milky Way galaxy until you get to the great central sun, the void of all creation. Allow that golden spiral of light to merge with the energy of all that is. Now bring that golden spiral of light back down into your body, allowing it to spiral down into your heart space. Once it's in your heart space, allow yourself to take a few deep breaths, allowing your heart space to open just a little more. And as you do so, a portal opens in your heart and you walk through. On the other side of the portal, you find yourself standing in front of a copper pyramid. This copper pyramid contains the blueprint for you to step into the now moment and stop waiting. Make your way into this copper pyramid, allowing yourself to align with the apex in the center. As you align with apex in the center, threads of all colors of the rainbow start to come down to the top of the pyramid and wrap around you. As they wrap around you, they whisk away the beliefs, the energetic trauma, the emotional triggers, and vows, contracts, or oaths that you've experienced through all space and time that are keeping you in the energy of waiting, that are preventing you from having all that you desire, preventing you from going for it. And anything else your higher self or source would like to be released for this now. As the energy of that completes, new threads come down through the top of the pyramid. These are golden threads. These threads contain the codes, threads, and symbols to align your beliefs so that you are no longer subconsciously waiting. What it feels like for it to be safe to go after what your heart desires and what your vision is. But it feels like to remember that you have everything within you that you need in order to achieve that dream, vision, your soul's path and mission. It is waiting for you, and all you have to do is say yes. As well as anything else that your higher self or source would like you to receive at this time. As the energy of that completes, you stop spinning. When you stop spinning, make your way out of the copper pyramid. Once you've exited the copper pyramid, you find yourself standing face to face with your higher self. Allow yourself to greet your higher self as your higher self greets you. Your higher self turns and shows you two different realities. One is this beautiful, lush, colorful, abundant, excited feeling place. And the other side is you still in the energy of waiting, where it's duller. There seems to be less excitement. There's an energy of stuckness or blahness. And your higher self says to you, which do you choose? Your choices create your reality. And it is your time, now that you have cleared all the things that prevent you from choosing to move forward with everything that you desire, choosing to manifest in the now. You get to choose now as to whether you are going to stop waiting and go after everything your heart desires, or whether you're going to choose to still stay in the energy of waiting. I understand that you may have thought by just doing the healing meditation that that would be enough, that you would stop waiting. And yes, that will help you. The emotional triggers that kept you waiting will no longer be there. But you still get to choose what your reality is. And I want you to become more conscious of the choices that you're making that are actually spoiling your ability to get what is already yours. So what is your choice? The old game of waiting or the new game of thriving and going for it, knowing that you are supported and guided through the whole process. Allow yourself to make that choice now, choosing to walk into either reality, the new reality of going for it, the excitement and the joy and the bliss of it, or choosing to still wait. Don't try to fight this. Allow it to be what you subconsciously feel drawn to. Don't try to force yourself into the non-waiting path if that's not it for you. There is no judgment here. Whatever choice you've chosen, walk into that world and really feel and experience the energy of it, grounding into that. And as you ground into that, you take some deep breaths, bringing that in through your heart space as your choice to experience in this lifetime in reality now. With your next in-breath, send that golden spiral of light down deep into Mother Earth, grounding this new choice into your reality. And then bring that golden spiral of light all the way up into your body, allowing it to spiral all the way up to the top of your head. Once it gets to the top of your head, crawl back your consciousness, using your breath to allow it to slowly slide down into your body. When it gets to your toes, start to wiggle your toes and fingers, take some more deep breaths, and when you are ready, you may open your eyes. Now, I suggest that you pause this video and write down anything that you felt pertinent from that experience, specifically the choice that you made. And then once you've written that down, come back and listen to the last bit that I have for this video. Now, if you've written everything down and you chose to go into that new world of moving forward, of making the choice to follow your signs and synchronicities that your higher self and source are giving you every day without logic, then you're done for now. You can listen to this meditation again, and you will just go deeper. You'll let go more layers of waiting, and the less layers of waiting, the better. If you're somebody who chose the waiting side or felt drawn to the waiting side, but may have pushed yourself into the new, I really want you to look at that. There's no judgment there, but that just means that there's something that wasn't cleared that still needs to be analyzed. Now, this could be you're waiting for someone. It's not something I talked about in the beginning, but some of my clients are waiting because they're waiting for their ancestors or their family or their friends to catch up with them because they don't want to be alone. If they step forward on this path, they want to go with people. But if you were to step forward without them, you will attract people to you who are moving forward in that same vision. Doesn't mean you can't talk to those people, but your families or friends, but you don't need them to achieve whatever your desires are if they're not ready. You know, they're on their own soul's path, and it's not for you to push them to align with yours or even wait for them. You know, if that's the case, you need to look at why that is. Waiting could be, I don't have the money yet, or I have responsibilities like, let's say, aging parents or children. And while those are all good things to wait for, there's still a way for you to receive your desires without you having to give that up. But because we live in such an analytical and logical and linear society, we think that it has to happen a certain way, and that's just not the truth. So there could be other things that didn't get cleared in this waiting meditation because they're much deeper than what this first run of this meditation released. And you can listen to this multiple times, and it may help. It may be slow, but you have to be willing to go deep. This waiting energy is not shallow. It is not at the surface. While that it may be what we just released, there could be very deep energies of waiting. So listen to the meditation several times. If you have a pendulum, you can ask if you need to redo it. And all I would ask is that you wait, that you give the clearing 24 to 48 hours before you run it again, so that you're just integrating the changes that you've already made before you go into that next level. And also allows things to shift in your life a little bit so that you can already see that it's working. And always ask your higher self and or source, whichever one you choose to work with, whether or not you should do it again, but also how long you should wait. Maybe it's more than 48 hours. Maybe it's only 24 hours. And just follow your intuition on that. I'm just providing guidance on what usually works for me and as well as others before we go to the next level of things. Okay. Now, if you go through this meditation and you find, through multiple times, you find that you still can't get this energy of waiting outside of you, then you need deeper help. And you could schedule a session with me and we could go over that so that it's no longer something that's preventing you from having everything you desire. Regardless of what's happening outside of you, you can have it. You just have to follow the guidance that is given to you instead of putting it on hold until you've done all the other things on your to-do list. Should be a priority, not at the bottom of the list. Okay, so hope this was helpful. Drop a comment below if you found that the meditation was helpful, and whether you feel like you will be more conscious of where you're waiting, or where you think you might need some extra help with that. And I can, potentially help with that in another video if I think it's something that will help a larger group. And that's it. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you soon on the next video. Bye for now.